Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for taking your seat. Thank you very much for taking your seat at your table. Thank you, Mike. Scott, save my seat. Good evening, and welcome to the 2023 Riverside Sport Hall of Fame Induction Celebration. My name is Stan Morrison, and I love sports. I'm proud to represent this fine organization as a member of the executive board, and I'm pleased to be your master of ceremonies for this important celebration honoring the long tradition of excellence in Riverside sports. I'd ask that everyone please silence your cell phones. Please silence. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the 2023 Riverside Sport Hall of Fame inductees who will be coming out from that corner there. First up, the Bob Bomar family. Thank you. Next, the head coach, Dr. Ronald L. Ellis. Next, Vanessa Zarneski, Duhan. Next, Coach Rich Graves. And next, Coach Rich Stalder. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our past inductees into our Hall of Fame. When I call your name, please stand at your table and remain standing. From the class of 2024, North High School Major League Baseball's Rookie of the Year, Mr. Mariner Alvin Davis. Alvin Davis. Making the fastest transition from Division II to Division I in about 30 seconds at UC Riverside, great baseball coach Jack Smitherin. Where is he? The Blade from Ramona High School and the Cincinnati Reds, Tommy Hall. Please remain standing, everyone's being introduced. Chris Krug. Chris. From the class of 2006, former great baseball coach at UCLA, Gary Adams. Gary? There he is, right there. From the class of 2009, North High School's basketball great coach, CIF Hall of Famer, Michael Barty. Great football coach at Pauley High School, and RCC Barry Meyer. Riverside's 2022 Citizen of the Year, among other accolades, Mr. Dell Roberts. From the class of 2010, RCC Baseball State City Community College Hall of Fame, Dennis Rogers. From the class of 2011, the one and only Rich Ramirez. There he is. From the class of 2012, New Orleans Saints, Rubidoux grad, Sammy Knight. From the class of 2013, UCR's last quarterback, Nick Goldware. A great quarterback. From the class of 2016, Suzanne Ashley representing David Ashley. Suzanne, please. Thank you. And from the class of 2017, Harlan Kistler. Harlan. From the class of 2018, the finest sports trainer in history for all of our sports, Mr. Jim Clover. There he is. And finally, from the class of 2019, the head coach, Bob Geddes. Bob. We have some, let's have a round of applause for all of these men, please, and women. We have some very special friends to thank for this wonderful evening. Please hold your applause until I complete this list of generous people and organizations. Nick Goldware, Ruben Ayala of Tiffy's Tow Service, Itzen Bishop Financial, Riverside Construction Company, California Baptist University, Dwight Tate and Kathy Wright, Gary Taylor, Kevin Watts of Raincross Inc., the law offices of Harlan Kistler, La Sierra University, Pacific Premier Bank, Riverside City College, Riverside Police Foundation, the greatest UCLA one-and-done story in sports history, Scott Hooks, and the University of California, Riverside. Let's hear it for our sponsors. Professional services provided by the California Baptist University staff. And ladies and gentlemen, all of tonight's beautiful gala environment is because of this extraordinary group of people who've created this, the ambiance and the beauty that we are sitting in to have dinner and celebrate all of you. Let's hear it for that staff, please. Gene Gleason with inductee video narration. You will hear that in a while. John Goolsby of Godfather Films. Eat your heart out, Steven Spielberg. Michael Elderman, photography, the Ansel Adams of Riverside, and Steve Zambell of Awards and Specialties. Let's hear it for this group of professional services, please. And now a list of people support for young athletes provided by Alvin Davis, Barry Meyer, Benji Madur, Bob Jackson, Gary H. Craig, Gary Taylor, Gerald Hurley, J.J. Roofing, Jim Clover, John Macy, Rich Ramirez, Sue Gazansky, and William Bill Boyd. Let's hear for the support for young athletes, please. The Riverside Sport Hall of Fame also takes great pride in recognizing the hard work and dedication of those aspiring athletes and sports leaders who may very well be our future Hall of Famers. It's my pleasure to invite Pep Fernandez and Jeff Gorham to join me on stage to introduce the college and high school Parade of Champions, please. Gentlemen, I'll take this and get out of your way. There you go.
Boy, it's nice seeing everybody out here. I'm Jeff, this is Pep. It's great to be here, seeing everybody, the force of Riverside. I see a lot of mentors, former coaches, friends, and you guys have done a great job. What a great event. And now we're going to honor the great ones in the Parade of Champions. First, from California Baptist University, Tyler Tickner. Next up, from California Baptist University, Paige Haynes. From La Sierra University, Quentin Davis. From La Sierra University, Sydney Wallner. From La Sierra University, Dylan Cooksley. Also from La Sierra University, Kaylee Casada. And from the soccer team at La Sierra University, Israel Vasquez. And last but not least, from La Sierra University, Kiana Crum. From Riverside City College, Matthew Bordewell. From RCC, Maxine Nahara. From the University of California, Riverside, Isa Badawia. Also from UC Riverside, Rakiet Olajoku. From Arlington High School, Jack Cleveno. Also from Arlington High School, Tessa Tavaloni.
From Hillcrest High School, Marcelo Souza. And Jada Wiltz, Hillcrest. From Jurupa Valley, Alex Diaz and Ruth Covey. From JW North, Thomas Tarasio and Lavinia Vaipulu. From La Sierra High School, Abel Rivera and Eileen Sanchez. From La Sierra Academy, Isaac Hara and Samantha Peya. From King High School, Case Heckroth and Emily Osmus. From Norta Vista High School, Dominic Johnson and Emily Cardenas. From Notre Dame High School, Landon Espino and Miranda Vasquez. From Patriot High School, Diego Armendariz and Alyssa Cervantes. From Poly High School, Christopher Airy and Caden Croy. From Ramona High School, Nathan Johnson and Naomi Rivas. From Rubidoux High School, Jose Luis Soltero, and Mia Green. From Sherman Indian High School, Debwunu Agu and Cassandra Valdo. And from Woodcrest Christian High School, Josh Cortez and Cadence Blackburn. We'd also like to pay special recognition to our two outstanding teams tonight. First off, your CIF Division I 8-man football champions, the California School for the Deaf, Riverside. Give it up for the Cubs. And also, the Ramona High School girls soccer team, your CIF Southern Section Division VI champions. Thank you very much, and congratulations to all the winners in our Parade of Champions.
Great job. Congratulations to all of you. You're all champions. We're thrilled. But, however, we don't give everybody a trophy. That's not our style. We're privileged to have Alvin Davis, longtime elder at Cornerstone Fellowship Bible Church, who will give our invocation. If he'll come up, please. And also, we'll would have Todd and Christy Mapes to lead us in the salute to the flag. And finally, the Crimson Road Quartet, who will perform a song to honor America. Please stand for the invocation and the salute to the flag of the United States.
Please join me in prayer. Father in heaven, we thank you for this night, a night that has been a long time in the making. We give thanks, Lord, to you for, as has been mentioned, all those who have worked behind the scenes, countless hours to bring this event together, for all that have supported it, Lord, and brought it to life. We give you thanks. Lord, we also give you thanks for the honorees and the inductees. We ask your richest blessings upon them, Lord. I know on behalf of so many of us, we're thankful for the impact that they have made in our lives. We thank you for sports, for creating us with the ability to move and to enjoy that movement. At the same time, Lord, we thank you for what we have been taught through sports: work ethic, discipline, teamwork, selflessness, and joy. Father, I pray that you would continue to bless this evening. I want to pray especially for the inductees as they give their speeches, that you would be with them and that you would fill them and give them the words to be able to communicate what I'm sure is their thankfulness to you and to others who have impacted their lives over the years. We ask all of these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Hi, I just want to say thank you so much for remembering my dad, and just, I think he'd be so happy and so proud of how this has grown so much. And congratulations to all the inductees.
And remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Here you are. Good. Thank you.
It's a quiet song. Do we have any veterans here this evening? Any veterans in the room? We're so grateful for the men and women who serve our country. If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I'd thank the Lord above to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom. They can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. For there's no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA. Well, there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. For there's no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. For there's no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
That was beautiful. That was sensational. Thank you so much. I'm privileged to introduce leaders in our Riverside community. From the Riverside Unified School District Board, Superintendent Renee Hill. Would you please stand and remain standing, wherever you are. Dr. Dale Kinnear, please stand. Mr. Tom Hunt, Mr. Brent Lee, Dr. Normie Hernandez Alexander, and Dr. Angelo Farouk. Will you all please stand wherever you are? Let's have a hand for those folks, please. From California Baptist University, President Dr. Ronald L. Ellis. Mr. Kent Dacus, please remain standing. Thank you. Vice President Paul Eldridge. Dr. Chuck Sands. And Chair of the Board of Trustees, Pastor Walter Price. Let's hear it for California Baptist University, please, our host this evening. From the University of California, Riverside, Coach Nate Brown. Nate, I don't know where you are. Okay, he's over there. Thank you. Please remain standing. And from the Office of Development in the Department of Intercollegiate Athletics, the superstar Krista Plato Guerrero. Please stand. Thank you very much. We gratefully acknowledge the dedicated work of the Riverside Sport Hall of Fame Executive Board. I'm going to ask the members of the Executive Board to please stand up when their name is called. Remain standing, please. President Gerald Hurley. Jennifer Goldware. Rusty Bailey. Jim Clover. John Corona. Josh Dunage. Nick Goldware. Jeff Gorham. Scott Hooks. Derek Johnson. Sam Knight Sr. Javier Kroom. Barry Meyer. Lance Pfeiffer. Rebecca Porter. Rich Ramirez. Del Roberts. Michael Scarano, and Kevin Watts. What? Okay. And now, can we have a round of applause for these dedicated individuals? And I'm going to turn this over to the boss. And let me just say something. No. He doesn't want me to say anything nice about him, but you have no idea the hours that he put into this production and every monthly meeting we have. Truly the core of all that we do as a board for the Riverside Sports Hall of Fame comes and emanates from his care, his concern, his organizational ability, and his networking, because he knows all of you. And that's great. And so I'm honored to turn over the microphone at this time. He's very embarrassed. He doesn't want any of this stuff, but he's very embarrassed. Please welcome Jerry Hurley, our president.
Thank you. Thank you. In the 20 years that our organization has existed, we've known some great individuals, some of whom have sadly passed on. So we've got a short video to take a look at. Please. We are committed to following the rules as set up by Dr. Chuck Kane. And for people who knew Chuck Kane was the type of individual who could put his arm around you and kick you in the butt at the same time. He was an unbelievable leader. When we were setting this up with Dr. Wall and Mayor Loveridge, Chuck Kane insisted that we walk out the door no later than 8:30 at night. People have to go to work. People have children, they have to go to school. So we are committed to that. Please enjoy your meal as we move into the next phase of our evening this evening. The Chuck Kane Leadership Award is the highest honor that we can bestow from the executive board. We have a dynamic leader for many, many years. And please watch the video to get to know him a little bit better, but I think you do know him. Thank you.
The Chuck Kane Leadership Award is given to those who, through their continuing leadership in the Riverside community, have inspired us all to athletic achievement. The Riverside Sport Hall of Fame recognizes Stan Morrison for his nearly quarter-of-a-century leadership in the city of Riverside. Stan first gained national attention as a center for the University of California, Berkeley, as the Bears won the NCAA title in 1959 and were runners-up in 1960. After graduation, Morrison was a European All-Star who helped his team to the European Cup Finals. He returned to Cal in 1962 as a graduate assistant and played AAU basketball. Taking the lessons that he learned as a player, Coach Morrison led the University of the Pacific Tigers, the San Jose State Spartans, and 2 USC Trojan teams to the coveted NCAA basketball tournament. In 1999, he joined the UCR athletics program as athletic director, where he worked diligently for 12 years to guide UCR in their transition to competitive NCAA Division I sports. For 5 years, Morrison served on the NCAA Men's Basketball Committee, responsible for the administration of the NCAA Division I Men's Basketball Championship Tournament. In Riverside, Stan is a leader on many community boards, including Olive Crest Group Homes, Inland Empire Boy Scouts of America, the Unforgettables, Riverside Humane Society, and the Mary S. Roberts Pet Adoption Center. In 2017, Stan was named as Citizen of the Year by the Greater Riverside Chambers of Commerce and is currently chair of the La Sierra University Foundation Board and the LSU Golden Eagles Athletics Advisory Board. He received great local and national recognition with his induction into the California Sports Hall of Fame in 2018. The Riverside Sport Hall of Fame salutes Stan Morrison for his outstanding achievements in athletics. Riverside is proud of its noteworthy sports history, and his accomplishments are a source of great community pride.
Ladies and gentlemen, Stan Morrison.
When I was a coach at USC, I had an opportunity to meet this coach at Long Beach City College named Chuck Kane. And it's difficult not to like the man within 30 seconds of shaking his hand. And he was not a good coach, he was a great coach. And it was my good fortune to come to Riverside when he was here at Riverside Community College, and I'll never forget all of our meetings. He knew how to command the room, and he knew how to conduct a meeting, and he knew how to put on a banquet. And you're reaping some of the rewards of that right now because Jerry and the board have followed his mandate with respect to time, details, and doing it with first class. I'm so honored. I've been blessed to have a lot of incredibly nice things happen to me in my life, and this is certainly among them. From the bottom of my heart to my colleagues on the board, thank you for honoring me. I am truly humbled by this, and it's something I will not forget. Thank you very, very much.
If you look at the back cover of our program, it lists the inductees, and we have 111 counting this class. We have the Chuck Kane Leadership Award recipients, and we have the President's Award recipients, in addition to the most inspirational athletes. It is an absolutely awesome list, and it's a roadmap for what we've done for 20 years, recognizing the best and the brightest that Riverside has. And that's part of what makes Riverside such a special place to live, to work, and to play. Look at the President's Award recipients over the years. Outstanding. And that's why in this year, we chose John Tibbles. Please get to know him by this video.
The President's Award honors those in the Riverside community who have provided distinguished service for a number of years in the field of athletics. The Executive Board has bestowed this honor on longtime coach and current athletic director at Ramona High School, John Tibbles. After graduating from Norfolk Senior High School and the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, John began his first California teaching assignment at Sierra Middle School. From 1987 to 1996, John taught and was an assistant basketball coach, softball coach, and the girls' varsity basketball coach at Ramona High School. Still teaching at Ramona, he was the boys' head basketball coach at Notre Dame from 1995 to 1996, and later that year, John started a 4-year stint as varsity basketball coach at Poly High School. From 2000 to 2005, he was the Rams' assistant boys basketball coach and head softball coach. Since 2005, John has been Ramona's athletic director. He is in charge of the athletic program and oversees facilities on the largest campus in the Riverside Unified School District. John played an important role in the construction of the football and track stadium and the new theater. In 2017, John received the Citrus Belt Area Athletic Directors Association Sportsmanship Award. This award was created to recognize schools that emphasize sportsmanship and conduct their athletic programs honestly. John enthusiastically promotes the CIF Victory with Honor model by holding himself, his coaches, and his players accountable for appropriate behavior during games. Throughout his career, John Tibbles has exhibited professionalism in his interactions with opposing coaches, players, and officials, and has displayed the highest level of sportsmanship. Tonight's recognition of John Tibbles is an acknowledgement of his vital role as a positive role model for youth under his direction. The Riverside Sport Hall of Fame is honored to have John as part of our sports ceremony this year.
Please welcome John Tibbles. Thanks, John.
Go Rams. I have to tell you, I love my job as an athletic director. It's a very thankless job, as many of my colleagues out here that are athletic directors can attest to at times, but it's a great job and I love it. And at 2005, I was offered the job to be the athletic director at Ramona High School. And I was so excited. I spent the whole summer preparing all my coaches' meetings and my coach's handbook, and I went into the office, and my wife Katrina said, "Where are you going?" "To Ramona. I got to work on the AD stuff." I was so excited. And we were playing King High School in football the first game, and I was excited because it was Tony Macy. He was the AD up at King. And I called Tony and said, "Okay, we got football set up, right?" And as the AD, they're telling me I have to make sure everything's set, the buses, the officials, everything's good. Tony said, "Yeah, relax. We got a game, we're good. We're playing the varsity at your place, the JVs are up at my place, the freshmen are at your place, it's good, don't worry about it." Perfect. I got off the phone and I was like, "What did he say?" So I looked at the schedule, which was done before the AD before me, and yeah, I think Tony said it right. The freshmen are here, the JVs are here, the varsity on that day, I got it. So we get to Thursday, the day of the game, and I'm all excited. Call Tony again. "Okay, we're coming to you." He goes, "Yeah, relax. I got it." Okay, so I'm out there at 3:15 ready for the game to start, and the buses show up, and I've got my JV team out there ready at Ramona, and here comes King's freshmen getting off the bus. And you guys that know sports at high school, that's not gonna mix, because now my JVs went up to King to play the freshmen, and the JVs can't play the freshmen. So I called Tony and I'm panicked. "What are we gonna do?" He goes, "I don't know, you better figure it out." So I called the bus company and I'm scrambling and I was sweating and I'm like, I'm gonna get fired the first football game that I'm working here. And anyways, we got it worked out. We got the buses to come up and get the right kids to where it needed to be. Told all the parents the game's gonna start a little bit late. Perfect. The game's over. It's like 6 o'clock. I'm exhausted. I called Tony. "I am so sorry, Tony. I don't know what happened." "John, relax. You know what you did? You fixed it. That's all we care about. We're gonna make mistakes and we fixed it." "Oh, thanks, Tony." Tony was my mentor. So I said, "That is so awesome." So the next day I called Tony. "Hey, you wanna schedule football next year?" "Not a chance." But the moral of the story is we fixed it, and that's what we do in athletics, and that's what we try and do and teach to our kids. If we're not doing things the right way, let's fix that, let's make it better. And that's kind of been the motto at Ramona High School. Really a quick thank yous, and I'll get off the stage here. Thank you to all the Ramona community. My coaches are great, the players, the families, the parents, all of my RUSD family, all of the different schools we work with. It's a great place to work, I love it. My principal, Victor Cisneros, who's here tonight, absolute supporter of athletics. He is great, innovative. I love working with Victor. My family is always supportive. Katrina, my wife, my kids, JJ and Jaden, are coming to Ramona next year. I'm excited about that. They're gonna play basketball and maybe do a few other sports. My daughter, Callista, is at college. She went to Poly, and I forgave her for that. Go Bears. She loved it there. And I'd like to thank my in-laws. Phil and Jean are here, Deneen and Robert, my sister-in-law and brother-in-law. And thank you to the Riverside Sport Hall of Fame Committee. Jerry Hurley is great for giving me this honor. I'm humbled, and I'm just so happy to accept. Again, I just love my job. Thank you.
Several years ago, we instituted an inspirational athlete, and it came from Jim Clover. And the first athlete that we honored, he had some contact with him, a Poly football player. And we thought, let's do this every year. We all need some inspiration in life. Let's get to know Janin Otto by this video.
The Most Inspirational Athlete of the Year award is presented to an individual who has overcome a challenge in their life and used the experience to inspire others to persevere in the face of adversity. In 2023, the Executive Board has bestowed this honor on Janin Otto for her stellar college career on the UC Riverside women's basketball team. Growing up, Janin was always a good athlete, but just before she turned age 12, her weight dropped by 15 pounds to 92 pounds. Making matters worse, the usually energetic Otto was lethargic and tired all of the time. Her mother, Kelly Hennessy, took her to the doctor, where she was diagnosed as a type 1 diabetic, a chronic condition that requires constant monitoring of blood glucose levels due to her body's inability to produce insulin. Janin played for her mom at Oak Hills High School, where she was one of the most prolific high desert basketball players ever. She led her team to 3 league championships, was All-League 4 times, League Player of the Year twice, accomplished the 2,000-point, 1,000-rebound milestone, and was named to the California All-State team. She was valedictorian of her class with a GPA of 4.33. After one season at the University of New Mexico, Janin continued her education at UC Riverside and soon became a leading player for the Highlanders, earning all Big West first-team accolades and was a 2-time team captain. She was the 2019 Big West Scholar Athlete of the Year and graduated with the highest cumulative GPA. Tonight, the Riverside Sport Hall of Fame honors Janin Otto and admires how she has dealt with this challenge in her life and has used the experience to inspire others to persevere in the face of adversity.
Janin Otto is currently playing in Adelaide, Australia, yes. And she most recently played for Uganda. And this is her mom, her high school coach, Kelly Hennessy. Crank this down a little bit for you.
I don't know how Janin got to be 6'1".
That's right.
Must have been something, okay. Hey, thank you so much. This is such an honor. There's nobody that feels worse about not being here right now than Janin. UCR, wonderful place for her to go to school. Wonderful people. She still has friends that she communicates with constantly that she played basketball with at UCR. And it says I'm supposed to say something because I was a coach directed towards all the athletes in here that got scholarships or awards this evening. Control what you can control. Janin's a type 1 diabetic. It starts with her blood sugar. Control what you can control. You're going to get thrown curveballs, bad pitches, bad things in life. You're going to break your leg. You're going to break your arm. You're going to break your ankle. Janin did all of those and is still playing professional basketball. She's got to see the world. She won a national championship in Iceland and saw a volcano explode at the same time. She got to go to Germany and see so much history and play on a really good team. She got to go to Australia and have kangaroos sitting in her backyard. Then she got to play in Uganda for the FIBA national team. They qualified for the Afrobasket, and she played really well there, and now she's back in Australia, and she feels really bad that she can't be here, but please, young people, control what you can control, and don't think about what happens wrong, because stuff happens wrong to all of us all the time. It's how you control it and how you manipulate it. And not only did she become a good athlete, she was valedictorian in high school, and she was summa cum laude at UCR. So you can do both. You can be successful. You just have to control what you can control. Thank you so much, Riverside. We appreciate this a great deal. Thank you.
Is Kelly a great coach or what? Wow. I would love to play for her. Coach Stalder is looking at his watch over there, and we're about 4 minutes behind. So, I don't want to run laps, so we are going to keep moving. Because of your generosity, everyone in this room, because of the sponsors, the friends of the athletes, the support staff, we have the ability to give out scholarships to deserving high school students. And our executive board met a little while ago, and we said, how can we make these scholarships more meaningful? Well, obviously, we need to give more, and we need to give in a higher amount. So hopefully we have a little bit of a surprise for everyone this evening. And then we thought we need to name the scholarships after prominent people in our organization, in our city. So I am proud to announce that the Del Roberts Scholarship is awarded to Caden Croy from Poly High School. Caden, would you please come up? I was supposed to talk a little bit about Del. For those of you who don't know him, Del graduated from Poly High School in 1955 after lettering in swimming, football, and track. He was a special assistant to the Poly principal in charge of discipline and security from 1968 to 1989. He coached football for 21 years at Poly. He's got a long history of touching and positively changing the lives of Riverside youth. Caden Croy from Poly High School, volleyball, track and field, basketball, all CIF basketball, two-time league MVP in basketball. Her post-high school goal is to attend Concordia University, Irvine, to play volleyball. You might know her dad, the current coach at Cal Baptist. So Caden Croy is our first recipient of the Del Roberts Scholarship. She's so fast that I don't even see her right now. Our second scholarship is the Bob Porter Scholarship. And we think so highly of Bob. Bob passed away. And Becky, without a doubt, is the best activities director I've ever met. Bob Porter was born in Riverside, attended local schools. He started coaching in summer rec leagues in 1952, managed the Sages Yankees in Little League in 55, coached 4 sports. If you saw the video, he was one of the original UC Riverside players for Frank Lindenberg. At Ramona, he was the mainstay of the staff for 32 years, coaching in all the sports. Excellent athletic director. The recipient of the Bob Porter Scholarship is Tessa Tavaloni from Arlington High School. Tessa, water polo, swimming, 4-time first team All-League, 2-time All-CIF, 3-time league champion in 4 events, swimming, 50-meter, 100-meter, 220-meter medley relay, and 220 free relay. A 2-time CIF qualifier. She signed to play for water polo at Concordia University. Tessa Tavaloni is getting a scholarship tonight. Our third scholarship is the Rich Stalder Scholarship. After attending local schools and Poly High School, Rich embarked on a stellar coaching career, starting in Little League, Colt League, most especially the John W. North High School baseball coach for 23 years, where his teams won 329 games. He was also a very successful athletic director for the Huskies. The recipient for the Rich Stalder Scholarship is Lavinia Vaipulu from North High School. If Lavinia would come up. The Huskies are in the house tonight. Soccer, swimming, 2-time All-CIF in soccer, 2-time Offensive League MVP, 2-time champion in 4 events, 2-time CIF qualifier. Her post-high school goal is to play soccer for UC Riverside, and she's planning a major minor in psychology and criminal justice. I'm from New Jersey. I need to get to know her. Our fourth scholarship is the Rich Graves Scholarship. For over 30 years, Rich Graves has been the acclaimed baseball coach, most prominently for Riverside Poly Bears and the King High School Wolves. His teams reached the CIF playoff 20 times. He won 10 league championships. He's the second winningest baseball coach in Riverside County history with 426 wins. I believe this young man is not here tonight. He's got several tests tomorrow. From Woodcrest Christian, Joshua Cortez is the recipient of the Rich Graves Scholarship. He's a golfer over at Woodcrest Christian, Coaches Award, second team All-League, and he is going to college and he hopes to play golf. It's my distinct honor to introduce Jennifer Golware to do our last two scholarships.
Our fifth scholarship is named after Mr. Rich Ramirez. Rich Ramirez, educational path took him from Fremont Elementary School to Central Middle School and on to Poly High School, where he excelled in baseball for the Bears. At RCC, Ramirez was part of 2 championship football teams and served as the Tigers team captain his sophomore season. Rich later became RCC Vice President of Student Services. In fact, 14 of his 39 years in education were all spent at RCC. The recipient of the Rich Ramirez Scholarship is Jack Claveno from Arlington High School, who I also believe is not here this evening. Jack is a 2-time first-team All-CIF baseball, 2-time Offensive Player of the Year, top 7 in career hits, 92, with 1 year shut down due to COVID. He was voted the best catcher in Southern California. Post-high school, he signed to play baseball for the University of Utah. And our last scholarship is named after Mr. Bob Geddes. Bob Geddes grew up in Riverside, graduating from Poly High School, where as an athlete, he set numerous school and league records in track and field events. He enrolled at RCC, and despite not playing high school football, he went out for the football team. After just 1 year of football at RCC, he received a football scholarship to UCLA, where he was a standout defensive end. Bob played 7 years of professional football for both the Broncos and the New England Patriots. The Bob Geddes Scholarship Award this year is going to Christopher Array of Poly High School. Christopher, for wrestling and football, was 22-23 CIF champion in wrestling, 22-23 Ivy League champion for wrestling, 22-23 Southern Section Masters runner-up for wrestling, 22-23 he placed 7th in the state for wrestling, 21 and 22 he was the first ever in the school history at Poly to qualify for state in wrestling. Post-high school, he's attending Northern Colorado for wrestling. Please congratulate our scholars, who will each be awarded a $1,500 scholarship. Thank you to everybody.
You're all going to be Vanna White right now. You're going to stand behind this. We're going to take a photo. Ready? That's the amount of money that you're going to get. We are going to give $1,500 scholarships this year. Try and cash that big check at a bank. All right. Let's have a round of applause for our scholarship recipients. Wonderful. It's a great evening. I would invite Stan Morrison to come back to the podium, and we will start our induction ceremony for the 2023 Riverside Sport Hall of Fame. No one does it better. Stan Morrison.
Our first inductee is Bob Bomar, the most dominant Riverside men's fast pitch softball player of the 1950s and 1960s. Please turn your attention to the large screens as we introduce you to Bob Bomar.
Bob Bomar was one of the most outstanding and memorable players from the golden age of softball in Riverside in the 1950s and 60s. At 6'7" and 265 pounds, Bob was a powerful slugger and a dominating pitcher. During his men's fast-pitch softball career, Bob played locally for the Riverside Browns, Moss Motors, Baker Oil, Stewart Sporting Goods, and the GBC Phils. He also achieved fame in Southern California playing for the Long Beach Nighthawks in prestigious all-star national tournaments. Bob first came to prominence playing for the 1958 championship team sponsored by Gay and Larry's, a well-known Mexican restaurant. He would go on to be a top player on teams that won 7 De Anza 1 titles and many SCMAF Southern California championships. During his softball career, Bob tossed several perfect games in league play, mainly because of the speed and movement of his pitches. When he came up to bat, opposing teams often walked him because they feared his hitting ability and raw power. Bob came to be known as Mr. Softball in Riverside because of his skill on the diamond. Many longtime Riverside residents vividly remember going to Riverside softball fields just to watch him play. Bob unfortunately passed away in July 1968 at the age of 47. Within 1 year, the city of Riverside recognized him by naming 2 city softball fields in his honor. The Hall of Fame is proud to honor the legacy of Bob Bomar, the gentle giant who dominated the sport of fast-pitch softball when it was played every night of the week on Riverside ball fields.
Would Mike Bomar please come to the dais? Is he here?
Yes.
Ah, good.
Great, Mike. Come on over for a photo op. All right?
Thank you all. This is pretty honoring and humbling here tonight to see such a great crowd and to hear about all the amazing athletes here tonight. I am Mike Bomar. I'm from Washington State, so I flew down the West Coast today to be here, and I want to thank Jerry, the Kane family. I want to thank the Riverside Sport Hall of Fame for this tremendous honor, to the committee for all your work in planning this event, and for the opportunity to speak on behalf of Bob Bomar's family tonight. Riverside is indeed an amazing sports community and has much to be proud of. I also want to acknowledge my Aunt Sharon and my cousins Bill and Carrie, who are here representing the family as well. And I'm so thankful that they gave me the opportunity to hear about this event and to be here tonight. So for my generation, Grandpa Bob was truly a legend. He died tragically long before I was born, and yet I feel like I knew him in the same way that I knew about Paul Bunyan. And hopefully that reference isn't lost on our young athletes here tonight. I also want to thank Del and Rich for telling me some stories that I hadn't heard and sharing kind words about Bob as well this evening. With stories of his great physical stature, his baseball and softball accolades, and lessons passed down about the firm but fair way that he raised his 4 children, my dad's told me many times about how easily Bob could hit a softball out of a baseball park. and the time he hit one way over a tree and completely out of a facility in Corona. He loved playing for Stewart's Sporting Goods for many years and had lots of friends in Casablanca. And at Evans Ballpark, he hit a homer that went over Brockton Avenue, across the street, and into a dry cleaners. Of course, as mentioned, he won the World Series with the Long Beach Nighthawks as well. He was far from perfect, and in fact, my dad would remind me often when I was young that his dad would have paddled him senselessly if he did some of the stupid things that I did. With 3 wild and reckless boys, and a perfect Aunt Sharon, of course, I'm sure he did the best he could with what he had. I also know that my grandma had a lot to do with his success, and I'm sure that he'd agree that no individual can succeed without someone or many people willing to support them without seeing any of the spotlight. I don't know what his ERA or batting average was or his win-loss record, but I do know that his legacy had a direct and profound impact on my life. Stories of how he played, and more importantly, how he treated other people gave me the confidence and direction I needed to achieve success in my college and professional sports career, and has opened countless doors since then in my work, coach life, and beyond. Over 37 years of playing and coaching, I've learned that belief in oneself is the most important force in sports. Very few people, if any, are born with that kind of irrational sense that they can defy the odds and achieve greatness. Most athletes are inspired by someone, and in ways and in times that may not make sense to anyone else. Who knows what impact Bob Bomar had on how many people, but I'm sure it was significant. This next part's a little awkward because I had no idea Alvin Davis and Rich Stalder were going to be here tonight. But in my research for this event tonight, I learned one of my childhood favorites, Seattle Mariner Alvin Davis, is from Riverside. For him, it was his mother who taught him that whatever you decide to do, don't ever look back, and his coach, Rich Stalder, who made him empty his piggy bank to buy an alarm clock after he was late to practice. I don't know if that's true or not. You'll have to tell me later about that. But no doubt these people changed the trajectory of his life. If his life had continued, Bob Bomar would have been a youth and softball coach as well. And that ability to impact somebody else even after you're gone is a true definition of success in my book, and something I hope to encourage my children to strive for as well. In fact, my 7-year-old began her first year of softball this spring and is known by her teammates as Big Hitter Bomar. I hope Grandpa Bob is smiling down on her as she carries his spirit forward. I want to congratulate the class of 2023 on your induction to this prestigious institution. I congratulate the high school and collegiate athletes who are honored here this afternoon, and I also want to leave the young athletes here tonight with an important message. At the end of the day, the outcome of the game is not important. How you perform today will soon be forgotten. What truly separates you is the ability to show up every day and work hard, to treat people in a way that leaves them feeling special, and to live in a way that many years from now, long after you're gone, your name will be spoken to light the spirit of the next great human accomplishment. Thank you again for this opportunity tonight. Thank you for recognizing Bob Bomar's legacy. We are humbled and honored to be among Riverside's best. Thank you.
Thank you. Knock it out of the park. Wow.
I took a graduate class one time that was dealing with leadership and issues to avoid. And in it, they spoke to athletes who went into administration and were particularly large. And I'm 6'8", and I listened, and the first time I'd ever heard this referenced to height, that I could loom, particularly around women. And I had to be very cognizant of that around women until they got comfortable. So when I would interview a woman for a position in our department, I was always have the woman sitting in a chair opposite me sitting behind my desk. So I put my desk down low and have that chair kind of high so we're eyeball to eyeball so that I wouldn't loom. Can you imagine hitting on a softball field, the distance from the pitcher's mound to home plate with a guy who's 6'7", 265, with arms from here to over there, releasing the ball at that speed? That is looming. That is real looming, okay? And I would say this to his son. He heard you, and he's smiling. Very well done. That was a beautiful speech. Thank you so very much. Okay. I would like to be introducing Brenda Martinez, but she's not here this evening. Brenda had a baby 6 weeks ago, and first things first, family, and so she was unable to be here. She's an Olympic great, and I would direct your attention to the large screens as we get to know more about Brenda Martinez, please.
Brenda's passion for running began at age 5 when her parents enrolled her in an after-school track club. Her desire to excel manifested itself in area youth meets and at Rancho Cucamonga High School. Her recruitment to run for UCR began a series of firsts for Brenda. She became the first in her family to go to a university. She led the cross-country team to its first Big West title. She was the first runner to represent UCR in the Division I Track and Field Championships, and she became the university's first NCAA Division I All-American. In her Highlander career, she shattered the UCR record books by setting records in the 800, 1500, 3000, and 5000 meters, and she was the first woman in Big West Conference history to win the 1500 in all 4 years. On the international stage in 2013, Brenda became the first American woman to medal in the 800 meters at the World Championships. In 2016, she earned a spot on the Olympic team and had a dramatic closing kick in the 1500-meter race. In Rio, she made it all the way to the qualifying 1500-meter semifinals, where she ran a 4:10:41. Her journey from UC Riverside All-American to World Championship medalist is based on her passion for her sport. Understanding the importance of being a role model, Brenda now conducts annual free camps for youth where she emphasizes the importance of positive self-image, building character, and making healthy life choices.
I had the good fortune of being the director of athletics at the University of California, Riverside during Brenda's time there. She was a real lady, genteel, honest, and very womanly. That may not be very PC to play, because I've met so many athletes who leave those kinds of features behind by virtue of their aggressive competitiveness. And was she competitive? An absolute gorilla on the track. She could run anybody down. I went out to practice several times with Coach Rennie and saw her working out. What her workouts were like were unlike anything I'd ever seen for male or female. She was one of the most self-driven athletes I've ever had the pleasure of being around. And as I saw her graduate and go on to all the things we just saw here, frankly, I wasn't surprised. I think she is still capable of competing, and I hope so. And I'm just so sorry that she isn't here so we could share this moment with her. Brenda Martinez, yes. And now I would like to introduce
Coach Brown.
Yes.
Brown can come up and-
UCR track coach and my good friend, Nate Brown. Nate, please.
I will keep this like I like to keep my daughter's bedtime prayer, short and sweet. I had the good fortune of becoming an assistant coach when Brenda was in the middle of her career, and as recruiting coordinator, it made my job a whole lot easier. And to this day, we still use her name in recruiting. What she's accomplished as an athlete has been tremendous, but lately what she's accomplished as a wife and a mother and giving back to the community is especially astounding and something we should commemorate. So thank you to the Riverside Sports Hall of Fame for acknowledging her achievements as a UC Riverside athlete and as an athlete for Team USA. And on behalf of Brenda, her husband Carlos, and her new daughter Socorro, thank you very much.
I would like to now introduce a friend who has had so much to do with the success of this event tonight and has worked diligently behind the scenes, and I ask her to come on up here. Please, Jennifer Goldware.
It's truly an honor for me to introduce our next speaker. He is the recipient of the 2011 Chuck Kane Award. He is a 2013 inductee into the Riverside Sport Hall of Fame. He is the first inductee into the UC Riverside Athletic Hall of Fame. He is the first inductee into the Ramona High School Athletic Hall of Fame. He is an RCC alumni recipient. He is a past trustee for UC Riverside. He is a past Citizen of the Year for the Greater Riverside Chamber of Commerce. And he is one of 4 members of a family to ever receive the Family of the Year Award from the Greater Riverside Chamber of Commerce. But most importantly, he is the true definition of a leader and truly leads by example in every aspect of his life. And I am lucky enough that I get to call him my dad. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Nick Goldware.
I got somebody fooled. In November of 1994, I think started one of the greatest sports stories in the history of Riverside. I'm pretty comfortable in saying that the trustees of this university thought that they had the right guy when they picked Dr. Ron Ellis to be the president. But I'm also pretty comfortable in believing that they had no idea how his leadership would transform this university and impact the city of Riverside. There can be no question that academically, culturally, architecturally, but most importantly for tonight's athletically, what has occurred here in the last 29 years is nothing short of spectacular. This university has achieved 33 national championships, 75 conference championships, 261 major conference award winners, and has an all-time winning percentage of 62.5 in all sports. Last year, the university achieved NCAA Division I status. The women and men's athletes at this school continue to excel not only in the arena and on the fields, but in the classroom. I don't think this record of performance and the honor it's brought to the university and the city of Riverside would have occurred if not for the hiring of Dr. Ronald Ellis. You'll also notice, if you have the chance to walk around this campus, especially for many of us who have been here a long time in Riverside, what a change has occurred here. The easiest way to show that change is the building we're having this event in tonight. This Dale E. and Sarah Ann Fowler Event Center was completed in May of 2017, and most of us, I'm sure, in this room have been in arenas and stadiums around the country. This arena rivals any one that we've ever been in. That happened under Dr. Ron Ellis's leadership. I'm reminded of Coach Nick Saban, the Alabama football coach, when he was describing what his coaches and his players were trying to reach by being excellent or elite. And he said, we can be bad at what we do, we can be average at what we do, we can be good at what we do, we can be excellent at what we do, and we can be elite at what we do. And if we're lucky, with God's given talent, we can be good. But to be excellent and to be elite, you have to have passion, you have to have direction,
you have to have focus, and you have to have commitment. And I think those words describe our next inductee. So ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome to the stage our next inductee to the 2023 Riverside Sports Hall of Fame, Dr. Ronald Ellis.
Ronald L. Ellis, Ph.D., became the 5th president of California Baptist University on November 1st, 1994. At the helm of this important institution, he is recognized for his leadership in the community by the Riverside Sport Hall of Fame and is inducted into the class in a contributory category. Since his installation as president, California Baptist University has experienced dramatic changes in every aspect of university, academic, athletic, and social life. Under Dr. Ellis's direction, there has been an organized plan to move forward to the highest sports level in the National Collegiate Athletic Association. Initially, Cal Baptist competed successfully in NAIA competition by winning 22 national championships in 12 years. After dominating league and tournament play at this level, the Lancers gained membership in the NC2A Division II, with men's and women's teams competing strongly in the Pacific West Conference. That's where they won the 2012 Commissioner's Cup in just their first year of eligibility. The program would regularly send teams to represent the university in regional and national tournaments. Finally, Cal Baptist University accepted an invitation to join the Western Athletic Conference in 2017, paving the way for a multi-year transition to NCAA Division I status. Currently, there are 18 varsity athletic teams competing in the WAC for most sports. This has coincided with installation of improved athletic facilities on campus. A new recreation center building, dedicated in January 2013, offers a wide range of physical fitness options to students and employees. And a state-of-the-art event center opened in November 2017 to host various university sports and commencement events. For his contribution and promotion of sporting activities within the community, the Riverside Sport Hall of Fame welcomes Dr. Ron Ellis.
Tonight, for me, reminds me of my favorite word, wow. This is a special honor for me. Thank you for including me in this wonderful class of honorees and for inducting me into the prestigious Riverside Sport Hall of Fame. My wife, Jane, who is a tremendous sports fan, and I are deeply appreciative and humbled and honored by this recognition. Again, thank you very much. I also want to thank Kent Dacus for being at my side through this entire journey at CBC, CBU, and playing a significant role overall, and certainly with athletics. Like so many achievements in life, one does not do it alone. This honor is the result of the talent, commitment, passion, excellence, and drive of a number of champions on the field, in the pool, in the arena, the athletes themselves, the coaches and their staffs who pour into the athletes, numerous supporters who are there to mend the athletes, prepare the playing surfaces, sell the tickets, usher, work in the back offices, raise and give the donations, ensure compliance, administer the programs, fans who attend competitions, and all who help ensure success. To the hundreds in these categories and others in unmentioned categories, as well as the parents and friends who believe even when others may doubt, I say thank you 7 times 70. Sports are beautiful. Sports are influential. Sports have been a part of every civilization and have played key roles in society as they continue to do today. Sports embody the full range of emotions, from the agony of defeat to the exhilaration of victory. Sports, in essence, are a microcosm of human life. It is so encouraging to see the large number of young athletes, high school and college, that are part of this evening's program. You are part of the rich sports tradition of Riverside, and you can be proud to represent the past and blaze new paths now and in the future. I'd like to close with the following poem, first published in 1910, a different era, but the message is still relevant, that has inspired me since my youth. If, by Rudyard Kipling. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn out tools, if you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss and lose, and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss, if you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son. I hope everybody will take this to heart and be inspired by these words and live a life that is pleasing and with purpose and that honors God. Thank you very much for this honor.
I've had the pleasure of coaching at a number of universities and working as an athletics director. No one who sits in that chair as a chancellor or as a president gets it better than President Ellis. You just heard why. He absolutely gets it. It fits. It fits in the academic arena just as it fits in the athletic arena. And I'm so proud to see the Riverside Sport Hall of Fame put that red jacket on that man. Thank you very much, President Ellis. Thank you. Jennifer, please.
Our next inductee is softball superstar Vanessa Sarnecki-Duhan. Go Bears. I direct your attention to the screen as we see your journey from Poly High School to the Olympic Games.
Vanessa is an acclaimed graduate of Riverside Poly High School. At Poly, she lettered in basketball, track, and softball, earning the 1998 Riverside Poly Athlete of the Year award, as well as the Citrus Belt League Female Athlete of the Year. Vanessa was the only non-pitcher to win Most Valuable Player in the Ivy League on 2 separate occasions. In 1998, she made the Cal High Sports All-Star First Team and had a career .458 hitting average while playing for the Lady Bears. Vanessa would go on to play for the United States junior team in 1999, helping her team to the title game versus Australia, where they won a gold medal. At Fresno State University, Vanessa was a 4-year starter for the Powerhouse program, where she would play right field, first base, and second base. She was a 4-time Western Athletic Conference Scholar Athlete and was a starter in the College World Series. In 2002, Vanessa made the NCAA Region 4 All-Tournament team, and in the same year was selected to become a member of the Greek national softball Olympic team. In 2004, Vanessa started every game in the Olympics at second base for the home country of Greece. After the Olympics, Vanessa would continue to play around the globe, including in the World Cup in Beijing, China. Vanessa returned to Riverside, where she had a successful coaching career at her alma mater. During her time as coach of Poly Girls Softball, Vanessa would compile a record of 102 wins and 43 losses. Her teams reached the quarterfinals in Division I play twice and the CIF Southern Section semifinals once. Vanessa is married with 3 children and is kept busy coaching 3 youth teams in various sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Vanessa Duhon.
It might be easier playing in the Olympic Games than speaking here tonight. This isn't really my normal cup of tea. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and fellow athletes. Being a Riverside Poly grad as a student, I knew how great Cheryl and Reggie Miller were. So I'm honored and humbled that the selection committee decided to include me with these athletes. I remember the day playing basketball at Norte Vista, how mad they were at Poly basketball. It was more like a football game on the court. That night I learned firsthand that Cheryl scored 100 points in one game against them. First and foremost, I want to acknowledge the presence of God in my life. I firmly believe everything I've achieved in my career is a direct result of His grace, love, and guidance. Without His blessing and support, I would not be standing here today. Nobody reaches the Hall of Fame without support, hard work, great guidance, and coaching. One of my favorite boosters at a young age was my neighbor and Hall of Famer, the late Nick Tavallone. I like to think that Coach Jones, myself, and my Poly teammates put Poly softball on the map. The first thing we did was dig up that beautiful grass infield and turned it into an actual softball diamond. We had a few fans at the beginning when I was a freshman and made All-County, but we had quite a few on that senior day when I stole my 100th base. Throughout my career, I've had the opportunity to compete at the biggest levels. I've played in my first national tournament at the age of 12. I started on a travel ball team with players like Jenny Finch. I was driven to get a Division I scholarship. I played on a U.S. junior national team, made it to the College World Series, and finally represented my mother's home country at Greece in the 2004 games. I traveled the world back then, finishing my career in Beijing in the World Cup, hitting 500. To achieve all this, my family and myself sacrificed a lot. Our summer vacations were softball tournaments in places like Rockford, Illinois, or Memphis, Tennessee. Thanks to my sisters, Scarlett and Lindsay, for all the sacrifices. But at least you guys got a fun trip to Athens. I studied in the car as I went to hitting lessons in Orange County. I had to find a way. I got hurt a lot too. I had 2 ACL surgeries, 2 shoulder surgeries, actually playing one of my college seasons at first base with my right arm in a harness. But I had a love for the game, a true love for the game, and rehabbing was simply an extra long practice until I could get back on the field again. For that, I'd like to thank my Riverside-based physical therapist, Greg Olson. As a word of encouragement to kids, I'm here tonight even after my rec ball coaches said I was the worst player on their team. My career started through my dad watching baseball on TV. My mother had my older sister in children's theater, but that was just too much drama for me. So I became a student of the game. I watched baseball with my dad and asked a million questions. My poor dad. My dad was my biggest critic and one of my biggest fans. I never got things watered down, but that truly made me strive to be the best and push myself. I was lucky to have a dad who could see my skills and my mistakes and love me enough to challenge me to get better. Right now, too many parents think their kids can do no wrong. I'd rather be like my dad. We lost my mom this past December. It was tough. My mom was my biggest cheerleader. She's the one that got all those pictures for the video. She drove me to everything. She was always proud of me. She loved being the team mom. She was that cool mom, that Polly Bear mom. My Uncle Pio was a trainer for the Detroit Tigers, and after an Angels game, I remember telling Hall of Fame shortstop Alan Trammell that he did the wrong thing, catching a soft liner up the middle. I told him, you should have dropped that and gone for the double play because the guy that was running was big and slow. Shocked that a little girl was questioning his play, Trammell eventually laughed and said I was right. He signed a poster for me to a fellow shortstop, thanks for the advice. I always strive to push myself to be the best, to push the boundaries and inspire others to do the same. And I loved playing defense. I remember one practice when I was 15, the coaches started testing my limits and kept hitting ground balls farther and farther for me each time to dive and try to get them. I kept diving and diving until my blood was dripping from the glove arm. See, I can still show you the scar. I have always believed that sports have the power to bring out the best in us, to teach us life lessons and inspire us to reach for our dreams. We learn with hard work, discipline, and dedication, anything is possible. Sports taught me to do what I love and to give it 100%. They also bring us the gift of teammates. I've had a lot of special teammates in my life, but 2 of them are here tonight, Shannon Walsh and Elizabeth Catron. Thank you for friendships that last a lifetime. To my husband, Justin, even though you missed all of my playing days, in you, I have a teammate for life. I want to thank the Hall of Fame Selection Committee, especially Jerry Hurley, for this incredible honor. I also want to congratulate my fellow inductees who have all left their mark on their respective sports. And I want to thank some of my coaches, like Coach Hunt, Gary Henning, Marty Rubinoff, Gary Fawcett, Margie Wright, and Diane Neinmeyer. And of course, Eddie Jones, who made softball fun for me and has become a forever friend to both me and my family. Finally, I would like to dedicate this honor to all the young athletes out there who are just starting out on their journey. Those who are dreaming of getting the elusive scholarship, winning the championship, or one day standing on the podium and hearing their national anthem. I want to say this: believe in yourself, work hard, never give up, do what you love, give credit where credit is due, and know that anything is possible if you put your mind to it. I have 3 children who love playing sports. My oldest, Ashlyn, is a basketball player, putting in the reps. My son, Jace, is like me, with a high baseball IQ, and always puts the team first. My youngest, Callie, is so fiercely competitive despite her small size. You better watch out for that one. My hope for them and for any young athlete here tonight is that you grow to see the value of being a good teammate, to have a love for your sport, and to be kind with a competitive edge. Thank you for this amazing honor.
Absolutely terrific. We're moving into the phase of our ceremony where we are going to honor 2 longtime Riverside coaches. What type of influence does a coach have? For many young players, they might spend more hours a day with their coaches than they do with their parents, given the demands on people nowadays. Let's try an experiment. If you've played for Coach Graves or Coach Stalder, or you played against them, please stand up. Wow. Thank you. That says it all. I don't have to say anything. That's the influence great coaches have on players. I would invite you to get to know Rich Graves, but we do know Coach Rich Graves. For over 3 decades, he's been a mainstay in the dugouts of Riverside. Let's look at the video for Coach Rich Graves.
For 32 seasons, Rich Graves went about his passion in the dugouts of the Inland Empire wearing the uniform of the Riverside Poly Bears and the King High School Wolves. From his native San Diego to Fresno State to the Air Force and then to Riverside, Rich was a true competitor. He got his start teaching at Chemawa Middle School, where coaching sports soon became a passion for him. During his tenure as a head coach in games against the very best local competition, his teams reached the CIF playoffs 20 times and won 10 league championships. Rich is the 2nd winningest baseball coach in Riverside County history with 426 wins. He has sent numerous players to the collegiate and professional ranks, and his former assistant coaches and peers cite his leadership and coaching influence as major factors in their success. Rich was a leader in the development of the area code games in Southern California and was one of the selection chairs for the National Sunbelt High School All-Star Classic, and has been an associate scout for the Kansas City Royals and the San Francisco Giants. He has also served as the manager of the Winter Scout team for many years. Rich has been recognized for his achievements with awards from the California Interscholastic Federation and the California Baseball Coaches Association. Local legend and professional baseball player Alvin Davis has said of Rich, "Coach Graves has touched an entire generation of players. There is a certain class of coaches that stand above the rest, and he is definitely in that class."
Coach Rich Graves. So we have some supply issues that we don't have a red jacket to fit Coach Graves, but we will order it.
Thank you. It's quite an honor to be up here. I want to thank Jerry and the members of the Riverside Sports Hall of Fame, this special event tonight. What an honor for me to be recognized along with friends and coach colleague Rich Stalder. Congratulations to all being honored in this class of 2023. After serving in the Air Force and then completing my degree and teaching credential at Fresno State, Tom Wallace, the principal from Chemawa Junior High, offered me my first PE position in the fall of '72. Little did I know how many opportunities would open for me by moving my family to Riverside. Barb and I bought our first home in a brand new little neighborhood across the street from Arlington High School that opened in 1973, when junior highs then became middle schools. While teaching at Chemawa that school year, I also became the head freshman football coach and head JV coach at Ramona High School, thanks to Frank Hostetler and Bob Porter. That was the beginning of my high school coaching career. 2 years later, my high school teaching and varsity baseball coach career began at Riverside Poly until 1999, when Ray Pletko hired me as a charter teacher and varsity baseball coach to help build the program at the new Martin Luther King High School in 2006. I attribute to the success of our baseball programs at both Poly and King to our players' talents and hard work under the direction of excellent assistant coaches, especially my longtime assistant, Dave Trulock, who was my sidekick for 24 years. We miss him and his wife, Trudy, every day. We thank their daughters and former Poly Diamond Club girls, Paula and Donna, for being here tonight as to honor their family and importance to us. If they please stand for a second. Our sons, Randy and Ryan, practically grew up at Poly. They were 4 years apart in age, but Randy would have his lefty brother, Ryan, pitch to him as much as possible. So Randy became the hard-hitting infielder while Ryan developed into a left-handed pitcher. It was such a privilege to be able to coach them through their high school career at Poly and then watch them play at the next level. Randy helped Dennis Rogers in 1990 RCC baseball team reach the first state finals for the first time, and Ryan helped pitch the 1996 Oklahoma State Cowboys to the College World Series. Dave Trulock was able to coach his son, Kenny, at Poly. My former assistant, Jim McNamara, also got to help coach his son, Rusty, in football and baseball at Poly. Then at King, my former assistant, Ken Scott, also helped coach his sons, TK and Travis. We all had a special memory of the times together with our sons and teammates on the baseball field. My Riverside Poly High School baseball coaches firmly include Rich Staller and Tom Kennedy from North, Bob Porter from Ramona, Ron Edmondson from Norte Vista, Jack Harrison and Gary Rungo from Arlington, Mike Duckworth from La Sierra, and Jim Rose all ran highly competitive programs to make our community proud. I appreciate their time and effort in helping organize and staff our annual 16-team Riverside Baseball Classic. This tournament brought college and pro baseball opportunities for many of our Riverside high school baseball players, including North High's Alvin Davis and Adam Kennedy, and Poly's High Greg Myers, who achieved Memorial Major League Baseball careers. I'm shaking. As coaches, we like to provide experiences and events for our players to help develop and showcase their talent and progress. That's why, along with my coaching colleagues, I was active with the California Baseball Coaches Association, the North-South All-Star Series, Oklahoma-California All-Star Series, the Sun Belt Classic, the Area Code Games, and Southern California Scout League. Poly High teams also enjoyed competing in the LA Games as well. It's rewarding to see that many of our former Poly and King High players have chosen teaching, coaching, and other baseball-related careers. Just to name a few, right here on CBU baseball field, Gary Adcock is currently building the Lancers into a strong Division I program in the Western Athletic Conference. My son Ryan has been a Division I pitching coach the past 23 years at Cal Poly SLO and the University of Kansas. Benji Madura has led his Huntington Beach Oilers to a CIF and a California State Championships. Jason Clark has been a teacher and coach in Corona Centennial High. Bill Ermert is currently teaching and coaching at the Riverside Poly. After coaching the University of Hawaii, Rusty McNamara is now a Major League Scout for the Mets organization. By the way, we're also proud of our doctors, lawyers, administrators, sports psychologists, military officers, and business owners, and all. And before I sit down, I want to thank my wife, who's been by my side through all these 55 years. Finally, I would like to ask my former Poly and high school baseball players and families, my assistant coaches and their families, my Poly and King High School staff members, and our friends, please stand up and so I can thank you all. Go ahead and stand up, please. Everybody that's from King. Again, I want to thank Jerry and his staff for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Oh, no, we have Coach Stalder. It was easy for me to identify the North baseball players this evening. The doors opened at 5. They were here at 3. I believe that's called Stalder time. North High School is such a special place with special people. Rich Stalder is one of the special people. Let's watch the video.
Rich Stalder actively participated in all sports while attending Magnolia Elementary School, Central Junior High, and in the Recreation Department Little League program at Palm School. Rich would also play on many teams in various leagues, most prominently in Pony, Colt, and Connie Mack League baseball. After graduating from Poly High School in 1957, while at college, Rich coached Riverside Colt League champions in 1960, 61, and 1962. He continued his sports involvement as a baseball player at Chico State and while serving for 2 years in the United States Naval Reserves. Rich's arrival at John W. North High School in 1968 would be the start of nearly 3.5 decades of service in various coaching and administrative positions. He was assistant football coach 1968 to 1986 and 1994 and 1999. Head baseball coach from 1969 to 91, and again in 1997. JV basketball coach in 1987 to 98, and athletic director from 1976 and 77, and then again in 1990 to 2001. All for the Huskies. In his 23 years as head baseball coach, Rich's teams won 10 Ivy League championships. He was named the 1988 Ivy League Coach of the Year, and he led his teams to 6 Riverside City Tournament championships. Coach Stalder's overall baseball coaching record was 329 wins, 213 losses, and 2 ties. As athletic director, North won 10 CIF SS championships and 2 state titles in 5 different sports. In addition, 9 teams in 6 sports went to CIF title games. Rich Stalder's true legacy lies in his devotion to building his program on unshakable principles of punctuality, accountability, and teamwork, and his deep love for all of his players.
Rich Stalder is wearing his red jacket because he brought it with him tonight. Rich Stalder.
Where's Rich Graves sitting? There he is. Before I get started, Rich Graves and I were bitter enemies at one time. Still are. We'd play against each other one night. The next night, we're driving in the same VW down to a clinic. That's how much bitter enemies get together. First of all, I would like to congratulate all of the 2023 inductees and former inductees. The honor that has been bestowed upon you is well deserved. A big thank you to Dr. Ellis and his wonderful CBU staff for hosting this event in this fabulous arena. I am totally overwhelmed by this honor that the Riverside Sport Hall of Fame and the Board of Directors have bestowed upon me. As I have said before, and will repeat over and over, this evening I stand before you a very humble man. There are so many coaches out in our community who deserve this honor as much or more than myself, and it is my hope that someday they will also get their day in the sun. I want to show you that it takes more than a village to build a coach. It takes a whole town the size of Riverside. So I have a number of thank yous to a large group of people. First of all, to my wife, Mary Ann. You have given me 56 years of love, devotion, sacrifice, and support. To Julia and Stephen, I could have not asked for a better daughter or son-in-law, and I'm so proud of your accomplishments you have made during your lives. I've also been so lucky to have been surrounded by very loving and supporting family members. To my wonderful friends and neighbors, through many years, your support, your love has been overwhelming. I have treasured every moment we have spent together. To me, you are irreplaceable. To my former teaching colleagues, office, custodial staff, field staff, thank you for putting up with my outrageous moods and behavior for so many years. You never get enough credit for the work you do. To the North High School and RUSD administrators, yes, we had our agreements, and sometimes we had our disagreements. With my outspoken behavior on numerous occasions, I want to thank you for not firing me. In fact, today I probably would be fired in 5 minutes for some of the things I did. No matter what the situation, every day was a new, bright, and sunshiny day at John W. North High School. To the umpires, and we have at least one or two in the crowd tonight, even though I disagreed with some of your calls, I know that if we had traded places, I would have missed more balls and strike calls, out and safe calls, than all of you combined. Thank you for taking the heat game after game. To opposing coaches, I want to thank you because I treasured the competition, especially the inter-city rivalries. Just watching your teams perform gave me numerous ideas about the game. You were always class acts in your victories or defeats, and your teams were so well prepared and represented you and your school so well. To my former teammates, as a player, I couldn't run, hit, or throw very well. I was small, weak, and extremely slow. In fact, I never ran or won a wind sprint in my life. You made me feel an important part of the team. I never felt left out, and I will never forget our great times that we had together. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of your success. To my assistant coaches, and there are a couple here tonight, your knowledge of the game, teaching abilities, work ethic, and loyalty is one of the main reasons I'm standing here today. In my mind, each of you was a very successful head coach in our program. Our teams never would have achieved the success without you. I could never thank you enough, and I will always be very indebted to you. To all of our players, yes, you are the main reason I am here tonight. Without you, none of this would have been possible. I will forever be indebted to you for your desire, your passion for the game, and your work ethic, and the numerous hours we spent together. I am so proud of your accomplishments on the field. However, I'm even more proud of your accomplishments off the field. The way you lived and have been so successful in your daily lives off the field is the biggest reward that a coach could ever receive. Believe me, it's more important to me than any win or loss you had during your playing days at North. You have my deepest respect and admiration for all of the accomplishments that you made. As a retirement speech in Yankee Stadium, Lou Gehrig said, "Today I feel like the luckiest man on the face of this earth." Well, believe me, I'm no Lou Gehrig, but today I feel like I'm the luckiest man in the city of Riverside, California. Now we can throw away the script and get down to the nitty-gritty. Every speaker up here has mentioned that the world of sports is a wonderful teacher. It teaches you how to win. It teaches you how to deal and recover from defeat and losses, to never give up. To all you Giant fans, I don't know whether you remember, Bobby Thompson off Ralph Branca hit the home run. The Giants have won the pennant. The Giants have won the pennant. The Giants have won the pennant. Russ Hodges. That was in the 1954 year of baseball. Now, for all of you Dodger fans, we'll give you a break too. How about when, what's that guy's name? Kirk, what was his name? Gibson. Yeah, he hits a home run that wins the World Series. John Wooden, if you're a UCLA fan, took a team that had a 6'5" center and went to the NCAA and won his first championship with Fred Slaughter, 6'5" center. Just imagine that today. See, what was I going to say here? This is going to require some audience involvement because you've already shown that you can stand up and you're probably wanting to stand up again and go home. First of all, I want to congratulate each one of you tonight. Do you realize that 4 years ago, we did not have any ceremonies for the last 4 years? Talk about comebacks. I'll tell you about one comeback, and that was USC against Minnesota in the 1974 College World Series semifinal game. Minnesota had a pitcher. The pitcher was very famous. He was a famous big league ball player. And, you know, I forgot to write down his name. What was his name? Jack, you know who I'm talking about. He struck out 15 hitters, 15 in 8 innings. He allowed 1 infield hit. SC comes up in the bottom of the ninth. And lo and behold, they are down 7-0. And the first runner gets on. The second runner hits the ball to the first baseman, and it should have been a double play, but the umpire at first base missed the call. SC then proceeds to get 8 runs in the bottom of the ninth and win the ball game. Now that's a comeback, okay? Now, I want each one of you, first of all, to give yourselves a rounding, and cheers of applause, because you have established the greatest comeback in the city of Riverside for any group that ever existed here. Stand up and give yourselves a round of applause. We're not over yet. Okay, sit down again. Now, I would like the board of directors that has put all of this together to please stand up and give them the same round of applause. However, there is one man that is here with us tonight, just one man that is with us tonight, and if he weren't here, I will guarantee you there would be nobody here tonight. Nobody. Earlier last year, we had a talk on the phone. We were talking about the Riverside Sport Hall of Fame, because I used to be on the board of directors, and what was going to happen. He said to me, we're going to have the Sport Hall of Fame in 2023. I said, you got any money in the bank, Jerry? He said, not much. I said, how much? $150. That man had a dream. He had a dream that 4 years from the last Hall of Fame, there would be a Hall of Fame ceremony tonight. And I want now everybody to stand up and give a rounding stand of ovation to none other than Jerry Hurley. Thank you.
He can assign laps too after practice. I'm not messing with him. Stan Morrison will close us out. But I'd like to, if I may have a moment, would Becky Porter and Jennifer Goldware please come up to the stage? Because without these two, we could not be here tonight.
All right, we're closing it out now. Number one, when Gibson hit the home run, it's considered the greatest moment in sports history in Southern California. Number two, USC at NCAA history in 1974, and we may have someone here who was there. Am I correct, Bob Leach? You were on the 74 team, am I correct, with USC? Right there. He knows that history and wrote a great book about Rod Dado, the coach at USC, who was voted the coach of the century. The coach of the century, and there's the author of the book right there. My man, Bob Leach. Thank you. Rich Stalder, where are you? Is he right there? Is Coach Stalder, where is he? Right there. Coach, there are 2 custodians, 1 cafeteria worker, and 1 bus driver who are really upset that you didn't thank them. I just wanted to let you know. Okay? All right. Let's have one final round of applause for our inductee class of 2023. Yeah. You bet. They are taking their rightful place in the Riverside Sport Hall of Fame. Since 2003, we now have inducted 76 athletes, 19 coaches, and 16 contributors to the hall. Yes. Also, congratulations to the entire group of our award recipients this evening, all of which has brought you to our were brought to you by our sponsors. Please thank them for their generosity. Yes. Okay. Our sincere gratitude to California Baptist University for hosting this eloquent banquet on campus in this spectacular arena. The CBU staff has filmed this entire event, and it will soon be available on our website, www.riversidesportshalloffame.com. And thanks to each and every one of you in the audience for joining us on this special evening and for not leaving early. We really appreciate that. And I want to give you a quote. It's General Douglas MacArthur, and many of you know it, particularly you veterans. On the fields of friendly strife are sown the seeds that on other days, on other fields, shall bear the fruits of victory. And these athletes and these coaches have demonstrated that once again this evening. Please drive home safely. We'll see you same time next year. And as you depart, be proud, Riverside. Good evening. Thank you.